Edition of Legal Hour. My name is MC Chaka. I'm your host for this very insightful and educative program that we bring to you every Thursday and Tuesdays. On Tuesday, lawyer covered the tree version. So tonight we're going to talk about this same topic using the English version. This is to benefit our brothers and sisters who might not be familiar or might not understand our tree language or the dialect. So please, tonight, once you receive the link, make sure you share for your brothers, your sisters, or your family members to obviously benefit from the program. Tonight, we'll be talking about options to get onto options to get financial or to meet the financial requirement for spousal visa application. We understand that Home Office has got a financial threshold that everyone needs to meet before they can bring their spouses into this country. If you've got your wife in Ghana, your husband in Ghana, and you want them to come over here to join you, there is a financial threshold that you need to meet, and you need to satisfy the Home Office that you meet that requirement. So failure to do that obviously will lead to refusal of your application. But then there are so many options for people who might not be able to meet the financial cap or the threshold which has been set by Home Office. So tonight is going to be interesting. And then also people in this country being on the EU and the EU law, if they want to make application for their people or whatever, they need to prove that obviously they have a substantial amount of income in their account, or they are working, or the sponsorship financial requirement. These are some of the things that I'll be looking into. So please make sure that you share the program. Make sure that obviously you pass it on to your friends and family. Somebody will benefit from this. A lot of people have not been able to do this. They've not been able to bring their spouses over to the UK simply because they think they are not eligible. They think they don't have the capacity or the ability to meet the threshold. But tonight I'll be here with my usual guest, lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors, and lawyer will be taking us through all the various options that we have. We will explore all these avenues of options to make sure that we can obviously meet the financial threshold. So please make sure you share. This program is proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. They've been a backbone from the onset, and of course tonight they're sponsoring the program. Program will be channeled through our Facebook link as you're watching right now. It's going to be on YouTube as well, our YouTube link, and of course CITI Media Radio. So we've got about 3 different media links that will be bringing this program to you. So please share. Enjoy the program. It's going to be very insightful, very educative, and it will help someone in a very long way. My name once again is MC Chaka. Lawyer is getting ready. We'll be sharing the links, and I'll be back to introduce lawyer to you very briefly. So please stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. I'm here with lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. And as I said earlier on, we're going to talk about the financial requirement for spousal visas, how to meet them. CITI Law Solicitors, they've been a backbone from day one, and lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo has always been very good to us, coming here to give education. I mean, obviously to throw some light into the legal areas, what we need to know to benefit ourselves. So, Thomas, lawyer, thank you very much for your good work for the African community. How are you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you.
Oh, good. I know you've covered this area in tree. You did very well. I watched you, and your tree is getting much better. Your tree is really. I mean, where do you take that inspiration from?
I'm learning. I love learning.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, I know you're a very knowledgeable person, and everything that you do it with much, passion. So I'm not surprised that you do very well, and you're picking the tree language that you do mostly on Tuesdays now. So welcome to the show. You've selected a very nice topic, and it's really interesting. What propelled you? What motivated you to, come up with this very educative topic that people will benefit from that? What was the motivation?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy once again to be here to share knowledge, and I'm sure that whatever we're going to do here tonight will change someone's life. Immigration, I know, is life. So thank you so much, those of you watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and those of you listening to the CITI Media Radio. Yes, to answer your question, I think that about, if I'm correct, about almost 90% of applications that are refused for those who make application on the spouse route, especially those who want their spouses from abroad to join them in the UK. And this is not limited to just Africans, because remember, Americans and all those countries that are not part of the EU, and even now, including those EU nationals, we soon see that they also have to satisfy financial requirements. So most of these applications are refused because of the financial threshold. But what people normally don't discuss is that there are a lot of people out there who are eligible to make these applications without necessarily satisfying financial requirement. But because they are not able to adduce those evidence, they end up being refused, and their spouses or partners remain abroad. Their marriages break down because they cannot assist them to join them here. So this is why I chose this topic, to enlighten people to be aware that irrespective of their circumstances, in terms of financial circumstances, they are still able to sponsor their spouses to join them in the UK, or to continue to be on that route for those people who are not able to meet those conditions even when they are here as spouses.
Thank you very much, lawyer. So when we talk about financial requirement for spouse and partners visa, what is actually that? What is that requirement?
Yes, for a very long time now, I think since 2012, there is a law that whenever anyone who is British or has indefinite leave to remain is trying to, for example, has entered into the relationship or has married and wants to bring that spouse or that partner to the UK, then that person needs to meet financial requirement. And there is a threshold that person needs to demonstrate that he's earning that amount before that person can bring the spouse. And sometimes this threshold increases if children are involved or children are in the relationship. And more importantly, EU nationals who are not able to exercise free movement right because of the fact that we are no longer a member of the European Union. They also need to meet this financial requirement. when they want to bring their spouses to the UK.
Okay, so you've mentioned spouses and partners, but then I want you to emphasize more on the category of applicants or applications that falls under this, because I know a lot of people do applications and they might not be able to know whether there will be anything to include financial requirement criteria. So please throw some light into the categories of applications or applicants, what kind of applicants that financial requirements will be required from the Home Office.
Yes, the category of people that will need to satisfy this threshold are, as I said earlier, people that are married either here or abroad who wants their spouses to join them, or those who have been in a relationship akin to marriage for 2 years or more. And obviously, by law, those relationships, as I have just said, is akin to marriage. So if you live with somebody for 2 years or more, then if you want to bring that person to the UK, or you want that person to join you here in the UK, then if you have indefinite leave to remain, or you are British, and this time, if you are EU national, whose spouse is joining you after, or you formed your relationship after December 31st, 2020, then you need to satisfy a financial requirement, which is 18,600. So you need to demonstrate that you are earning that amount of money per annum before your spouse can join you. If children are involved, then of course the first child, you need to show that in addition to the 18,600, there is also about 3,800, and then for that second child, 2,400. So the list goes on and on and on. So these are the categories of people. So I'm not talking about those who want to make visa applications or other applications which doesn't fall under the partner route.
So you've mentioned the threshold. I want you to emphasize more on the threshold, and especially if children are involved. Will the threshold be the same, or would there be any other ways and means, obviously, that people can meet these requirements, please?
Yes, normally if you are just bringing a spouse, then you are required to show earnings of 18,600. So this is just a spouse. And people should also remember that even when those spouses are living here, they still have to demonstrate that they are earning that 18,600. But in the case where you are bringing a spouse and a child, so you need to show that you are earning 18,600 plus 3,800. And if you say the number of children increases, then additionally, you should be earning about each additional child, there is addition earning that they expect you to earn, which is 2,400. So you'll be looking at about 22,800 or 23, depending on, or 24,000, 400, depending on how many children you are bringing. So as the children number increases,
wow,
your earnings
hold on,
expected to increase.
So the 18,600 is for people with no children. But
Yes.
then if you have children, then
that are coming the same time.
Yeah, then that means your income should be
more than 18,600. Yes.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yes.
This is amazing. I'm really surprised. I mean, how many people can earn that money? And obviously, that means you'll not be able to bring your family into the UK. Then it's going to be very difficult, isn't it?
Well, we'll soon find out that there are various ways to still bring your family, and that is why I'm not going to dwell so much on the 18,600, which people already know. I'm going to dwell on the fact that even if people don't earn those amount of money, they can still bring their families to the UK. Okay. And that's the part that is of much interest to me tonight.
All right. So, viewers, if you've just joined us, I'm here with lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. CITI Law Solicitors are our sponsors for this program. They've been our backbone from the onset. And lawyer has been doing an amazing job. He spends his quality time with us all the time to educate us on legal matters. So tonight we're discussing financial requirement for spouse and partners applications or visa applications. The Home Office have got a threshold which he has established, 18,600, and if children are involved, then every child there will be an additional amount that you need to be earning. So please make sure that you share this program for people to obviously enjoy. This program is live on Facebook, is on YouTube, and of course CITI Media Radio. I know my Facebook listeners are right here enjoying and obviously watching the program. I'll give a comment. I'll read your comments, and then I'll acknowledge people as well. So please, if you are watching us on Facebook, please make sure that you drop a comment. Then we will know, or I'll personally know that you are here, and I'll be able to give you some shout outs or acknowledgement. I'll start from Anna Fusiwa. Anna says, "Good evening, lawyer. Ready for you." Hey, Anna. Okay, the lawyer is ready anyway. Lawyer is ready. All right. Yes, we've got our senior Facebook admin, Cornelia from Poma Ajima. Cornelia, where did you go? Welcome back anyway. Cornelia says, "Good evening, lawyer Thomas and MC Chaka. Happy to see you all each week delivering great service to the community. God bless you all." And Cornelia is entreating people to share this program. We've got Osubuatin say, "Good evening, lawyer." Eric Nyako says, "Good evening, sir." Patrick Yabua, that's my number one DJ in Asante Mampo. Patrick says, "Bro, good evening. I'm ready for you and lawyer." We are ready for you too. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I'm going on and on. We've got Covenant Grace says, "Please, is there any financial requirement for a child who is applying for indefinite leave to enter to join a parent who is either British citizen or settled in the UK?" Anyway, it's not time for questions yet, but I mean, I'll give lawyer the opportunity to answer this question because I might lose it, and of course I don't want to. So please, lawyer, can you throw some light into question that has been posed by Covenant Grace?
Yes. Thank you so much, Covenant Grace. You always ask very sensible questions.
Very, very.
On this platform. Yes, as I just said in the introduction, when you are, and in fact, it's a sensible question because a lot of people get confused with the financial requirement threshold, which leads to spouse application, and the requirement for bringing children here on their own separately. So, Covenant Grace, to answer your question, if you are bringing your child to the UK separate from your spouse, so which means that the spouse and the children are not coming jointly, then you don't have to meet this financial requirement. However, you have to meet what we call maintenance requirement. So you still have to show that you are working, there is no limit, but you need to show that there will be no recourse to public funds when the child joins you here. And you also need to show stuff like accommodation requirement, that you have a place where the child will be able to live, so you can accommodate the child exclusively without recourse to public fund. And then you also have to show that you are working, and when the child comes, you will not be a burden on the state. But of course, even if you are not working, again, that becomes exceptional circumstance, so you need to show other reasons why the child should still join you. Because remember, the Section 55 of the 2002 Act makes it clear that the best interest of the child needs to be taken account in these decisions. So sometimes, even if when you are not working and there is compelling evidence that the child still needs to join you, you can say sponsor your child to join you.
So, well, Covenant Grace, I hope your question has been answered. Obviously, lawyer has thrown a very deep light into that. I mean, children, if you are doing that, you have to prove that it's maintenance requirement and you are capable to maintain the child in the UK. But lawyer, you mentioned that obviously when children are involved with the applicant, then obviously there is money that your money. So can you throw light into that as well?
Good.
I mean, for Covenant Grace to
yes. Let me guess. For example, I had a client that I was dealing with. She was earning about 19,000. About 90,000. clearly that, and he had a child, he wanted to bring the child and the wife at the same time. Now, the financial requirement, people should take note, is mandatory grounds for refusal. It means that if you don't meet it, then the application automatically will be refused. So what people can normally do is they can just bring the spouse, if they don't earn more than 18,600. So you can bring your spouse, but once the child is here, once the spouse is here, so the two parents are here, so automatically the child needs to join the parents here. And at that stage, they don't need to show that they are earning any threshold. But if you are bringing the child and the mother or the father, then in addition to the 18,600, you need to also show that you are earning for each child 3,800. That's for the first child. And then as the children number increases, it becomes 2,400 plus the 18,600. So obviously, if you work it out, if my mathematics is good, you may be working about 2,400 for a parent and a child.
Wow.
But if you are just bringing just the parent, then it is, as a spouse, then it's just 18,600. So people should take note. If you are bringing the child on her own or his own, there is no financial requirement threshold to satisfy, but there is maintenance requirement. And if you are bringing them jointly, then you need to satisfy the mandatory financial requirement.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so I know there are various ways to meet these requirements. There are various ways. So can you explore the ways and means that people can obviously meet the requirements, please?
Yes. This is a very broad question, right? So the way in which people can meet the financial requirements, we have various categories, but I'll just group them into three. We have those who are salaried workers, non-salaried workers, those who are just working. So if you are working and you are earning salary, then obviously based on your salary, you need to show that you have been in that employment continuously for 6 months. And once you show that you have worked continuously for 6 months and you multiply your monthly salary by 12 and it gives you 18,600 or above, then your spouse can join you here. If you are not a salaried worker or your earnings is not by salary but what they call non-salaried worker, it means that maybe you are clocking hours. So a month your wage might fluctuate. So in that case, again, you're also required to work 6 months or more. So there is a minimum number of months you should be able to work. If you work for 3 months, you don't qualify. So that's 6 months. If you take the average of your 6 months earning, and again multiply by 12, and it's more than the 18,600, then of course your wife or husband can join you here. It means you meet the financial requirement. So that's for those who are workers working. There are those who are also self-employed. People can be self-employed in terms of either being sole traders, being directors of a company, or partners. So they need to show that they are being self-employed for a minimum of 12 months. So whilst it's 6 months for those who are employed, either salaried or non-salaried, it is 12 months. So again, for this category of people, they also need to show that normally you see that your tax return is from perhaps 5th of April to 4th of April. So if you can show that you've worked continuously, you are self-employed continuously for a year or more, and if in cases where if you are self-employed for more than 2 years, then you can take the average of the 2 years. But more importantly, the other categories will be those who can rely on rental income, on savings, those who can rely on, for example, shares, There are those who can even rely on maintenance. Those of you who are getting maintenance from your ex-partners, you can also bring your spouse. Those who are pensions, so the list is just numerous.
Okay, lawyer, thank you very much. We've got numerous lists to explore. We're going to take it one by one. I just don't want you to put all of them together. I want to push you on every area that obviously be able to give how people will be eligible. So now you've explored on those who are employed and then those who are self-employed. So you said to be employed, you have to be working for at least 6 months. And then you need to evidence that continuously your financial income meets that requirement. And those who are self-employed, for those who are self-employed, I mean, we all know that they do present or they get tax year, what do you call it? Tax returns and stuff like that. Do they have to wait for a year to evidence that, or whilst they are getting their payslip from their respective employers, they can still use that to evidence their eligibility or to meet that they meet the requirement?
Yes, normally, this they take what they call the previous year's earning.
Okay.
Because the tax in this country, normally you work and then end of the year, that's when you pay your tax. So it is the previous year one that they take into account. So if you have just been self-employed this year, but remember, depending on when you became self-employed, then of course, even if you have worked for 6 months, you will still be able to file your tax anyway. So once you've done your self-assessment and you have your tax return and all that, yes. But it is the previous year earning that they take into account.
Oh, so lawyer, let me clarify this. That means if you just started working and you've been in employment for 6 months, you will not be able to do that.
No, there is a distinction here. There are those who are self-employed, and there are those who are employed.
Okay.
For those who are employed, they are working for an employer.
Okay.
So they can show that they've been employed for 6 months or more.
All right.
And they'll be eligible to sponsor their spouses and partners or children to come. It's the self-employed that needs to show that they have been self-employed for 12 months or more.
Right.
So people should take note of that.
Okay then. So I mean, if you're self-employed, then obviously you need to evidence that you've done it, and they use the previous year assessment to all right, to take that into consideration. That's fine. So now, what about those who are not employed, who are not self-employed, but then rather claiming some form of benefit, universal credit, child support? What eligibility, or would they be eligible to make these or to meet these requirements?
Yes, these are the people that are of interest to me. Those who are claiming benefits, because most of them are of the view that because they are not working, they cannot sponsor their spouses or partners to join them, and therefore most of them struggle on their own, even when their partners are living abroad, and they could have simply joined them to assist them if they have children, to take care of them. So there are categories of benefits. It's not universal credit. Categories of benefits that if you are claiming, again, there are numerous lists. For example, if you are taking disability allowance, personal independence payment,
PIP,
yes, I'm sure you support your people when they come back from prison. So you know that.
No, I mean that's for people with some form of that replaces the disability living allowance anyway.
Yeah. So when people have got injuries and all that, and then they are getting that. Yes. So we have disability, the PIP, which is the personal independence payment. We also have the carers allowance. So if you are claiming carers allowance because, for example, you are caring for an older person. So all these people, there are those, for example, in the armed forces, they also have their own injury payment and all those people. So all those people who are claiming all these types of benefits are eligible to sponsor their spouses and partners and children to join them in the UK without necessarily showing that they are working. And last time I was talking about a client of mine who sadly is blind and was trying to bring the partner or the husband here. She's very hardworking. She's working. She was earning less than 18,600. She made the application, and then Home Office just refused. I found out that she doesn't even need to show any income at all because she was claiming disability allowance. And when I filed that plea, they just withdrew it, and then the husband was granted the visa to join her in the UK. So people should take note and look at the type of benefit that they are claiming. Some of them are eligible to rely on it to bring their partners and spouses without necessarily showing any earnings.
Lawyer, let me push you a bit on these benefit issues, because though they are claiming the benefit, let's say people who are not working, they might have children, gain universal credit, and sometimes they do earn a lot of money. When you put everything together, it could be maybe 1,500. Some even earn as much as £2,000, even more than people who are working, But the fact is that, do they have to demonstrate that they've got substantial amount in their savings before Home Office will take that into consideration? Or they can just take their benefit documentation to prove that this is how much I'm earning, and then obviously I'm capable to meet this requirement based on my monthly earnings or even annual earnings or whatever from the Department of Work and Pensions or from HMPS. So throw some light into that. How do they evidence that to Home Office?
Yes, as I've said, there's a list of benefits that if people are claiming those type of benefits, they are eligible to sponsor their partners and spouses to join them, or if they are here to continue to renew their visas under the partner route, including their children. And that list, as I've given about 3 examples, is the personal independence payment, carers allowance, disability allowance, armed forces injury payment. So if you are claiming universal credit, it's not in the list. So some of these things, people need to seek proper legal advice. I am not saying that. I'm not giving blanket advice of all types of benefits.
Okay.
It's not all benefits, any benefit. I'm sure most of those people claiming those benefits know themselves that some of those benefits, they cannot rely on it to sponsor their spouses. It's only those that falls under the breach of that Article 80. For example, if somebody is disabled and you're saying that because of that person disability, he's not working, you're not going to allow that person to be married or to live with a spouse, then that perhaps will be a breach of Article 14 of the European Convention of Human Rights. So there was proper consultation on this, but universal credit and child benefit and all those ones are not part of the benefits I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, lawyer. I mean, for taking your time to explain these benefit rules. So if I understood you clearly, that means that people who have some special needs,
yes,
let's say, because these kind of benefits that you've mentioned, disability living allowances, the PIP, are for those who have medical issues, obviously. Yes. So or that means
caring for certain people.
Exactly. So that means these are the people that meet the requirement.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I mean, well appreciate. Yeah. So viewers, if you've just joined us, this is Legal Hour program. My name is MC Chuck. I'm here with lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. Lawyer has been very great. He takes his time. I like how he takes his time to break the law, into pieces for everyone, to a layman's understanding, which is very, very amazing. So we're talking about how we can meet the financial requirement for spouse and partners on visas applications. So if you have just joined us, please make sure you share the link. You get someone involved, get someone to be updated with what is going on, because there are so many rules that you can explore to get to meet these requirements. Thank you very much, lawyer. And CITI Law, we say thank you. You've been our backbone from day one. CITI Law is the only law firm that has brought a media firm, radio, and of course studio to bring such programs to you. So please make sure you share for your friends, your family, and everyone to obviously benefit from that. All right, look, I'm going to continue with my questions. So let's say someone is working, or probably might not meet the working threshold, but has got savings in his account. Probably this person has been in this country for years. Can the person rely on the amount of money he or she has saved into his account to meet this requirement? You're talking about 18,000, and let's say though the person might not be able to evidence 18,000 as his annual or as a gross income, but then it could be that the person has even savings that is even more than that. Can somebody with such a substantial saving be eligible or meet the threshold?
Yes, that's quite a good question. Yes, as I said previously on Tuesday, savings is one of the categories that people can rely on it to sponsor their partners and spouses to join them, including their children as well. For example, for the maintenance requirement that I just mentioned. And they can do that in two ways. First, if they are not working at all, then it is expected that they need to meet certain threshold. And this time it's not going to be just the 18,600. So they need to show that they have 16,000 pounds in the account, plus if they are not working, plus the shortfall, 2.5 times the shortfall. So if they are not working, I think we went through that calculation last time. So if it's 18,600 times 2.5 plus the 16,000, somebody work it out to be around 50,000 thereabout. So that savings, if you have that savings and you are unemployed, you could still sponsor your spouse. But the good thing is that if you are working and you are not meeting the threshold because you are not earning 18,600, or because you want to bring your wife and children and you still have savings, then again you can also take advantage of the fact that that shortfall times 2.5 obviously should be able to meet the shortfall. So let's say you are earning 12,000, you will need to meet 18,600. So you take out the 12,000 from the 18,000, that's about 6,600. So you need to multiply this by 2.5 plus your 16,000. So that satisfies your shortfall. So people can rely on the savings alone, or they can combine it with their earnings and still meet the requirement. But more importantly, I said on Tuesday that savings is the only option that allows, I won't say only option, there are some other options as well, that allows applicants, because all these things we have been discussing is sponsors that need to show. Obviously, when people come into the UK and their earnings are from lawful employment, then applicants' income is also taken into account. But let's say, for example, your partner or spouse is in Ghana or abroad or Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, whatever, America, and he is able to show that you guys have joint account and you also have that savings in it. So even if whoever is here as a spouse doesn't have any savings and they have joint account abroad, then they can also rely on it based on the same calculations to sponsor the partner or the spouse to join them in the UK.
Thank you very much, lawyer. Now you really educating us. I like how you given all these information and update on that. So if I should move on to my next question, what about people who, especially our ladies, they've married before, got a child, and then claiming child maintenance but might not be working? Can they be eligible for that? People claiming child maintenance.
Yes, I think that I'm not opening a floodgate. I'm not opening a floodgate here, but if I'm correct, I'm not saying that by enlightening people they should just chase every man that has been involved in their life for child maintenance. Yes, but the truth is that we are looking at income here. So child maintenance is an income. So if, for example, you have a children with your ex-partner or spouse or whatever. And remember, it's not only women that claim child maintenance. I know some men, some have been our clients that also claim child maintenance from the women. So if you are claiming child maintenance, that means there is also an income. So again, if you are claiming child maintenance of about £1,000 a month, then even if you are working part-time, you will still meet the financial requirement, because that child maintenance is taken into account as an income for the purpose of this application or appendix FM that we are discussing. So your child maintenance clearly will enable you to satisfy the financial requirement if you are taking child maintenance.
All right, thank you, lawyer. So I mean, whilst you're taking child maintenance, you still need to be working. I mean, at least
not necessarily. If the child maintenance alone is enough, if you are if your ex-partner or spouse is a rich man that is paying you maybe about $1,500 a month, then of course you don't need to show. Yeah. You don't need to show that.
But then that could be an addition to your income, and
that alone is enough. You don't need to show that you are working. Just like if you had savings, you don't need to show that you are working. So the reason why I'm doing this program is I want people to understand that it is not, because a lot of people feel that it's only when they are working, that's when their spouses or partners can join them, or they can assist in renewing their application here. In fact, this means that there are people here who feel that because for example, if you are living in this country and you want to convert your 10-year-old to 5-year-old, then you need to show that you and your partner combined income is 18,600 as well. Okay. So if your partner has relationship children from a previous relationship and is taking child maintenance, that if your partner is not working, that in itself is also an income. And in the same vein, you can also rely on that particular income to sponsor your partner or spouse from abroad. So child maintenance, for the purpose of appendix FM applications, is an income that you can rely on it.
All right. Thank you very much, Lawyer. So viewers, Lawyer is throwing light into various options that we can use, obviously, to meet the financial requirement for spousal visas. And I think it's very important that we take note of all these options. Let me acknowledge a couple of people that have just joined us on Facebook. So Dada Queen says, "Good evening, brother. We are watching." Thank you very much, Dada Queen. Richmond Aki, that's my main man, Brown. Brown is watching. He says, "I'm watching Chaka." Gina Edu say, Mother. Thank you very much. It was nice seeing you last week. I hope you and the family are doing well. Thank you for watching, and make sure you share. Nana Yao Owusu Efrifa. Nana says, "I'm late today." Nana, you are not. Even if you are, you can always preview the program and benefit from it. So the link is there. Make sure you go back and watch if you missed anything now. Nana said, Isaac Darko is here some. Isaac Darko. No, I'm sure you know Isaac Darko. Yes. All right. So thank you very much, Isaac, for watching as well. Okay. Gabriel Banokore. Gabriel said, "God bless you, Lawyer, for the knowledge given this evening. God bless you too for watching and sharing. God bless you." We're going to continue with the program. We're talking about financial requirements for spouse and partners and visas applications. We know that we need to meet this requirement because Home Office are very strict when it comes to the financial aspect of application. They will turn it down easily. But sometimes if you know somebody knowledgeable and well equipped in the legal aspect, like Lawyer Beyebenwo, they don't have any problem because they will be able to challenge Home Office decision and give reason or proofs as to why you meet the requirement, if not by or through your employment, it could be through other means that he has just explored. So please make sure that you take note of everything that Lawyer is saying because it's very important. And if you need any support with your application or if you need consultation, please make sure or feel free to contact CITI Law Solicitors. They'll be there to help you with all your immigration matters. I'll give them a love shout out in the course of the program. But now moving on to my questions, lawyer. You mentioned earlier on that there is some sort of accommodation requirement. So can you throw some light into the accommodation requirement that is obviously taken into consideration when you're doing these applications? Because I know Home Office, especially for non-applicants, so Home Office will take that into consideration as well. So please throw some light into the accommodation requirement for people to know what their grounds could be.
Yes, if you look at the financial requirement, we can divide that into two, which is the accommodation and then the funds aspect. The funds aspect is what we've been discussing so far. The accommodation aspect, which is also another requirement that people need to satisfy, and the way in which the accommodation is assessed in terms of overcrowdedness. So they expect the accommodation could be overcrowded either because the person does not occupy or own it exclusively, or it is overcrowded under the Housing Act 1985. So it means that, for example, if you are making an application for your spouse or partner to join you in the UK, then it's not just the person that is coming to join you. In fact, the whole thing could also be even under the public regulations as well of the housing. So if whoever is coming to join you as a partner or spouse is being considered, or the application is being considered, is considered in line with people who are also living in that house. So for example, the sponsor might have children from other relationship who are also living there. In this case, if the child is under the age of 10, if the child is under the age of 1, a toddler, it's not counted, it's counted as 0. If the child is under the age of 10, pardon my language, they count it as half. So 2 children under the age of 10 will be counted as 1 person. And if a spouse or a couple living together in a single room, they also take it as 1. So any child above the age of 10 will be taken into account. So people should also take note of that, because sometimes applications are equally refused on the basis that the house is overcrowded. That's one of the requirements, because obviously if you don't have a house, then the state will be obliged to offer you accommodation once the child is here. Once you are a spouse, if you are living in a couple, when you are living in overcrowded accommodation, they put you on a priority list.
Yep, of course,
It's because of the fact that the council have a
duty to support,
and therefore that will mean that it will affect recourse to public fund. So people should also take note.
That's great. Thank you very much, lawyer. Thank you. So we are here with CITI Law Solicitors, and lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo is our guest for tonight. So if you need someone to represent you in all legal areas, talking about immigration law, employment, family law, personal injuries and clinical negligence, commercial disputes and civil litigations, housing law, consumer law, media and entertainment law, then please don't look any further, but then go straight to CITI Law Solicitors. They are very knowledgeable. When it comes to law, I rate them as number 1 in the UK. They've got good customer services, and then they will be there to listen to you and work towards whatever you require. So please make sure you contact them. They are located at Unit 113, Barking Enterprise Center, number 50 Cambridge Road, Barking. And the postcode is IG118FG. If you need to contact them, the office telephone number is 02033 550782. I repeat, it's 02033 0782. Lawyer is not in the office alone. He works with his learned colleagues. They are equally knowledgeable. So if in case you call and you don't get hold of lawyer, I'm sure someone as knowledgeable as lawyer will take the call and obviously address your issue for you. So please make sure you contact them for all your legal matters. We've been doing this program to make sure that we throw light into things that they do. And of course, we give you the directions for whatever area that you want to go for your problems to be resolved. So make sure you utilize them. They are there to support us. It's an extensive community we are building, and I rate them as number one over all legal firms in the UK because they listen to you and they make sure they deliver. They've got proven records of delivering. So please make sure you contact CITI Law Solicitors for all your legal matters. All right. We continue with the questions, lawyer. So I'm talking about this COVID issue. We know the hardship that COVID has brought to us. This is a pandemic that I think it supersedes all pandemics. Now they've got different names. The current one is COVID Omicron or something like that. I'm struggling to even pronounce it. You know, they've got, it's just like the ceramic. We've got, so many things, or the I don't know, hierarchies or whatever. Anita, they've got different names. But now COVID is coming with different names. And I think the top politicians are struggling even to cope with, these measures that we can use to suppress or to leave the, But COVID has caused hardship. And of course, financial issue is part of it. So people were laid off from work. A lot of people were given this, furlough. People have become off furlough. People were made redundant. People have lost their job entirely because of COVID. But then in light of this COVID situation and the financial requirement, that Home Office probably might still be taken into consideration with applications and they'll refuse you if you don't meet it. What circumstances can people who probably were working but then their job or employment has been affected by COVID, what circumstances can they make application or would they be eligible to meet this financial requirement under the COVID circumstances?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, obviously we are expecting new concessions in the light of this Omicron variant, but clearly between March 2020 to 31st of October 2021, if anybody lost his or her job or his or her job was diminished in any way as a result of the COVID pandemic, then that person can rely on that concession that this is the reason why I could not meet the financial requirement for my spouse or partner. And I'm sure that Home Office caseworkers may disregard some of these things. So, but the point is that entry clearance applications, for example, it is the date of the submission that is taken into account. So if for whatever reason you submitted your application before October 2021 and it comes out that you didn't meet the financial requirement, people are still eligible to rely on the fact that at the date they put in those applications, because of the COVID, probably the hours were reduced for non-salaried workers, or maybe they lost their job, or they have to change their job, so therefore they couldn't meet the 6 months minimum requirement that they should have been in employment. So all these are out for play for people to take advantage of because the concession is there. It's all about getting a good lawyer to be able to work around those concessions and then that time period that those concessions were available.
Thank you very much. So viewers, if your job has been affected because of the COVID, because the reason why I'm asking this question, I know a friend, he made application to bring the wife or the partner over, and after the application had been submitted, he lost one job. So Home Office were able to contact HMRC to verify, and they realized that one of the jobs, he was no longer employed. And that because of that, he didn't meet the requirement. And that caused hardship. So that's why I've asked you the question. So what can you say about this?
you see, that's why I always say that it's not that I sit here and I brag, but you need to make sure that whoever is dealing your case is abreast with the law. Now, there is a very recent case law, as I speak today, that came out this year. Now, entry clearance applications, by tried law, it is the date of the application that matters. And this has been confirmed by a case law in the upper tribunal as early as 2 months ago, that if you ever lost your job after the application has been submitted, Home Office have no right to refuse those applications. And more importantly, if the application was refused while the COVID pandemic was in place, then he can rely on this concession. So this person has a very strong case, in my view, to be successful in this tribunal. But this is the point. If whoever is representing you doesn't know what, because when I go to the tribunal, so I'm very familiar with what I'm saying here. Yeah. And some of my clients, last month, our office, our team, we worked collaboratively. We were successful in a case for somebody whose daughter is joining, and it's very, very complicated case. So when I speak here, I know what I'm talking about. If that person that you have just described is relying on somebody who knows what he's doing, then this is, in my view, complete nonsense, because it is not a reason for the application to have even been refused in the first place. But again, it is the way it is. And that's why we always come here to give people this free legal advice, so that they will know they are right. So even if these things come up, they will be able to hand their lawyers that some lawyer somewhere from City Law Solicitors is saying that for these 2 reasons, my application should have been refused.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from City Law Solicitors. Lawyer, I'm going to ask you this very question. People that probably might not meet the requirement, but then they've got third-party support. Can they rely on that to make such applications for, to bring their partners over? Can that be possible?
Yes. In fact, this particular question is the main reason why I am doing this. And I always say that, and people that have worked with me and clients that have dealt with me, I feel for the vulnerable. I have this innate thing in me that when I feel that because people are vulnerable, they are not able to progress in the way they should do, it hurts me. Now, there are various people who, one reason or the other, will not be able to meet the financial requirement. For example, there are people who have younger children. Because of those younger children, the system is saying that they are claiming universal credit. If they work more hours, they don't get those universal credit, the amount that they are supposed to receive, because it reduces. And if they do more hours, they will not able to take their children from school, especially if they have younger children. So these people have what they call exceptional circumstances. And if you look at the paragraph Gen 3.2 and then 3.4, for those who are, including those who are living here making applications and those who are making applications for abroad, it makes it clear that under those circumstances where people have exceptional circumstances, they can rely on third-party financial support. So if those people, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who are stuck, they have spouses and partners abroad, they have 1 or 2 children under the age of 18, they cannot afford to bring their husbands and wives here because of the fact that they don't meet the financial requirement or the threshold. I have a good news for you. You have exceptional circumstances. And in fact, even if you cannot get third-party financial support, refusing those applications will be a breach of your Article 8 right. And there's established Supreme Court case, the case of Lebanon. It sets out circumstances where those people's applications need to be granted. So, one, they can rely on third-party financial support. One, they can also make those applications. And before I conclude, this also includes people who have child arrangement order in place. You know, there are some men who have child arrangement order with their children from ex relationship and may want to bring in their wife or partner from abroad. They can equally rely on the same third-party financial support or rely on this Article 8 or based on the case of Lebanon. So this good news goes for those of you who are stuck and think that you cannot bring your spouse and partners here. If you have exceptional circumstances, seek advice from a lawyer who will be able to assist you based on what I have said today.
Okay. So lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. Thank you very much. Having some technical issues, I'm just going to ask you my next question whilst you're on the live, and of course I hope you can obviously answer. But then before then, lawyer, I want you to throw some light into what you mentioned earlier on. You spoke about various non-employment incomes that people can rely on to sponsor their spousal or partners application or for them to join them. Can you please emphasize a bit more on that for the
I can. You see, I started by setting out those who are making earnings from employment, either being self-employed or employed. I talk about savings, but in fact, people can also rely on various non-employment income. For example, those who own a property, they can rely on rental income. It's an income. In fact, people can also rely on bursary. So if you are, I'm not talking about loans here, please, student loan is not part, but if you are taking student bursary, then of course, you don't have to wait for your spouse or partner, or you don't have to wait for about 3 years. Because the reason I give this advice is that if you have just formed a relationship or you've gotten married and you are going to school and you feel that you want to finish your course before you can bring your partner or spouse to the UK, then the problem here is that under established case of GA or Good Day, if the relationships you guys stay apart for too long, then you may have difficulty proving that relationship is subsisting. So sometimes people say that, oh, I just got married, maybe if I bring my spouse, it could be looked at in a different light. That's not the case. In fact, the sooner your spouse joins you, the better. So if you are receiving bursary, it is one of the incomes that you can rely on to sponsor your partner or spouse.
Thank you very much, lawyer. Thank you. Viewers, I hope you've had a lot of knowledge tonight. Lawyer has explored all the areas that we can use to meet these requirements for the vulnerable. And in fact, I'm going to read a couple of comments that our viewers have dropped tonight. Cornelia has said something that I just want to read for your attention. Cornelia says, "You are perfectly right. your passion to your profession is unbelievable. We all know how passionate you are. You know what I mean, when it comes to your job. So yes, I think you're right if you say you're very passionate. You're very, very passionate about your job. Nanaya also Frifa says, okay, Nanaya, I've read your comment already. Isaac Dako is here. Isaac, thank you for being here. Gabriel says, God bless you, lawyer, for the knowledge given this evening. Patrick Yabua, DJ Promsey. Bro, I'm here, DJ Promsey. Promsey, thank you very much for joining. Cindy Kwame, we are all watching live from Italy. Thank you very much, Cindy Kwame. Thank you for watching. Augustine Edupoko. Hey, Oga. My main man, Oga. Oga, thank you very much for watching. I've seen your wedding pictures and I know you're flaunting it all the time on social media. You know, thank you very much. And I hope our princess is doing very well. You've done really well. You've gone back home. Your wife is amazing. Please make sure that you bring her over here. And if you need any support, you know who to contact. Lawyer is here to support you in case you want to bring your wife over. Thank you very much for watching anyway. Yabuate, that is my main man. Yabuate is one of the most renowned gospel singers in the UK. He's got his own platform and I hope him watching us tonight, a lot of people are going to hear of us. Thank you very much, Yabuate, Minister Yabuate. I'll give you a CD and you can listen to that in your car. He's such a fantastic gospel singer. So Yabuate is with us tonight and he's got his own platform. I'm sure you'll pick it up on his platform and then he's going to be blessing. Thank you, Yao, for watching as well. So viewers, this is the time that I'll give people the opportunity to call the studio and ask questions. Lawyer is here. He's very equipped. He's knowledgeable. I mean, sometimes he feels really bad if people don't ask him questions, you know, thinking that, are they not really enjoying the program or not? So please make sure that you call the studio live right now and ask questions. The question shouldn't just relate to the topic we've discussed tonight. It could be any other, question. It could be any immigration, any area that they cover. It could be immigration, it could be employment, it could be family, personal injuries, commercial disputes or clinical negligence. It could be housing law, it could be consumer, it could be media, any other topic that is covered, any other area that is covered by law. Please make sure you call us and then lawyer will be here to answer all your questions for you. So tonight's program has been very insightful. It's been very amazing. Lawyer has done really well, extremely, by taking his time to explore all these areas. Viewers, the number to call is, the studio number is 079 32 93 4518. I repeat, 079 32 93 4518. There's another number which is 0744 033 8623. 0744 033 8623. Make sure you call the studio number and you can ask any question of your choice, any question that is disturbing you, baffling you. It could be any area at all of law. Lawyer is here ready to answer you. So we are waiting for you to obviously call us. I'm just going to go for a quick commercial break, 1 minute break, and you can call through when we come back. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Okay. Lawyer, having some technical issues, so we just going to continue with that. So yeah, the phone lines are open anyway. We're going to close in the next 5-10 minutes. So waiting for people to call. I've just outlined the number. Yeah, make sure you call the studio number, which I've already given. But lawyer, whilst we wait for people to call us, can you summarize the main areas that we've covered tonight? in under 2 minutes. Please summarize, and we will take it from there, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm always full of praise for those of you who have been supporting the program. I'm sure that we are going to have the opportunity to review those who have been sharing the program, those who have been loyal and been joining us regularly, and reward you with your Christmas gifts accordingly. So I'm sure that the firm will take care of that. CITI Law Solicitors is so proud of you guys for always coming to support the program, because we enjoy impacting this knowledge. This is what we do for the community. Somebody will say corporate social responsibility.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. So it's always an opportunity to come and fulfill that duty. Tonight has been very amazing. We've had opportunity to look into the financial requirement for spouse and partner visas and children as well. We've been able to establish that if you are working or self-employed, you need to show that you are earning 18,600, and you should have worked for 6 months or more for those who are employed, 12 months or more for those who are self-employed. And more importantly, there are also numerous sources of funds that people can rely on: rental income, savings, shares. We've also looked at people who are even receiving insurance payments. We've also looked at those who are receiving certain categories of benefits. They are equally eligible to sponsor their partners and spouses and children without necessarily showing that they are working or self-employed. And we've also looked at those who fall under the exceptional circumstance category, who are equally for that, those who have younger children and they are claiming universal credit, and who may not necessarily be able to meet the financial requirement. They could also rely on third-party financial support. And we've looked at those who want to rely on savings. If they have joint savings with their spouse or partner abroad, if you happen to have a rich man who is you happen to marry and living abroad, you can rely on that. Even if you are not working in the UK, you can rely on that savings if you have a joint account to sponsor that person. So there are various ways that you can be able to sponsor your spouse to join you, even if you are unemployed or you are not self-employed. So this is what we wanted people to understand or be aware of. Every advice we give on this platform is for guidance only. If you want to seek advice, we advise that if you have a lawyer, you can contact this lawyer based on what we have said today. If you don't have a lawyer and you want us to assist you in any area of the stuff we have discussed here, you are free to also contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Thomas Beyebenwo from CITI Law Solicitors. And then viewers, this is where we drop the curtain. It's been very nice tonight having lawyer on board to educate us on how we can meet the financial requirement for spousal visas applications. We've explored the accommodation requirement as well. So I hope you've gained something tonight. So I'm going to go on, but then I need to acknowledge 3 people before. So Yabuaten is watching. Kofi Amoatin says, thanks, Mr. Thomas, for the job you are doing for Ghana. Thank you very much, Mr. Amoatin. And then William Boache is watching. That senior BM. Amanfo senior is watching as well. A big shout out to my mom in Ghana, Mama Monica. Mama Monica, you've been very inspirational. Your comments alone means a lot to me. Thank you very much, ma'am. We've got someone, a caller on the line. Lawyer, I'm sure. Okay. So, you can still call in. I've got under 1 minute if we've got someone on. For some reasons, we're having issues with the phone, but then I hope the caller will call back. So please call back and then I'll be able to take your call and answer your question. My mom, Miss Monica Donko, Mama, thank you very much. As I said, you've been very inspirational. And also to you, Akwesi Apia, Yana, yeah, I hope you're watching this program wherever you are, Akwesi. Thank you very much for watching and sharing. And to my amazing Avon mistress, Mami AC, Anita Papa B, Anita in Northampton, the Avon Queen and discount shopper. Mami, thank you very much for putting this program on your platform and sharing for your customers and your contacts. It means a lot to us. Mami AC is located in Northampton. Okay. Hello, we've got someone alive. Hello.
Hello, Chaka. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is William, calling from London. How are you?
I'm doing very well, my brother. Thank you very much for calling. How can we help you tonight?
I was just calling to say thank you guys for such an educative program. I mean, for the community. We're most grateful. But I have just one question or two because I didn't join early enough. I heard in your summary or the solicitor summary that even people on benefit, some people on benefit can still apply without any proof of working income. So what type of benefit can qualify for this if somebody wants to bring a spouse in, but they are not working and only relying on benefits? That is one.
Okay.
And the second one is, if I have a new spouse and they have children who are not mine, can I also sponsor them together with my new spouse? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hold on, don't go because lawyer might ask some follow-up questions. So please hold on whilst he addresses all these questions.
All right.
Lawyer, go on.
Yes, thank you so much for your question. Yes, with the benefits, there are few benefits that you can rely on even if you are not working. One is the disabled allowance, attendance allowance, personal independence payment. You can also, for the armed forces, they also have injury payment. So there are few benefits that you can actually rely on if you are not working and you want to still bring your spouse. But I'm sorry to say that universal credit is not one of them. But in any event, I've also said that under the exceptional circumstances, people who have younger children and for one reason or the other, they are not able to earn that amount, they can also rely on third-party financial support. Now, coming back to your second question, if you have a new spouse and your spouse have younger children who are under 18, they are eligible to join you with your spouse here. They will obviously give them the same leave that you are giving to your spouse. The difference here is that with regards to the financial requirement, instead of 18,600, depending on the number of children, the first additional charge, you need to add 3,800 to the 18,600. I think it works out to about 22,400. And subsequently, any additional charge is 2,400. But yes, they are eligible to join you together with your spouse, even if they are not your own children, as long as they are under the 18.
Okay, Mr. Willie. I guess it's my big brother Oga Willie. Is that Oga Willie?
That's right.
Oh my days! I could hear that from the voice. Anyway, thank you very much for calling. So, lawyer, before you goes,
thank you.
What
you
if
for
the spouse is already in the UK but the children are in Ghana?
Yes, it's the same. The same.
You still need to.
But the only slight problem here is there is what they call sole responsibility. Normally, if the spouse is here and the children are abroad, and one parent is here and the other parent is abroad, then the parent here needs to show that he has control of the children.
Okay.
So if he's sharing the responsibility with a parent abroad, then that might also become an issue. But obviously, with proper, if you seek proper advice on it, I'm sure you'll be able to work it out somehow.
All right. So, Oga, Uncle.
Yeah.
I hope your question has been answered.
Very thoroughly. The only follow-up is the disabled allowance. Are you referring to disability allowance or?
Yes, there are. Let me just quickly check the list. We have the disability living allowance, we have severe disablement allowance, we have industrial injury disablement benefit, attendance allowance, carers allowance, personal independence payment, police injury pension, armed forces independent payment. So these are some of the list of
there. Okay.
So if you fall within this, then of course you'll be eligible.
Okay.
All right. So
thank you, lawyer.
Thank you very much, Oga Willie, for calling in today and for watching this program as well. Please send my regards to my dear sister and the rest of the family.
I will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyway. Yeah. So, viewers, listeners, we had a caller and everything is in order. Thank you very much for joining this program, everyone. It's been amazing. I think we've extended or we've gone over beyond the time. Hopefully we'll be here next week with another program, same time on Tuesday with the Tree version and Thursday the English version. So stay tuned, and once you get the notification, please make sure you share for all your contacts to benefit from there. So it's time to say goodbye to you, but then I hope we shall meet hopefully next week. Have a blessed evening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.